Dear students of class 9, welcome to you all. I like to discuss today the French Revolution. The French Revolution happened in the year 1789. It is the French Revolution was an uprising, popular uprising against the feudal privilege and the autocratic rule of the Bourbon dynasties. The people of all the countries of Europe, people of France were suffering from inequalities, and we see that this naturally situation gave rise to the popular discontent, and ultimately it led to the outbreak of French Revolution in the year 1789. Now, what happened on that day? That is happened, 14 July 1789. A day is memorable, a related day in the history of the world. We see that the people of Paris attacked the fort of Bastille. Now, question may come, why they attacked the fort of Bastille? Bastille was a royal fort where innocent peoples were held for long years without any trial. So, people hated this fort as a symbol of royal despotism. We see that on the morning of 14 July 1789, the Paris was in a state of alarm. City of Paris. Now, people decided to attack the fort of Bastille, and also King Louis XVI commanded his troops to move towards the Bastille, and there is a rumor the king might order his army to fire upon the people. So, some 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall and declared to form a people's militia. Now, people attacked the Bastille fort. Before they attacked the Bastille fort, they also attacked government buildings in search of arms. And now they attacked the Bastille fort. They thought that many arms and ammunition are hoarded in the fort. However, the commander of the Bastille fort was killed, and after the destruction of Bastille, the prisoners were released. So, Bastille, already I mentioned, the people thought of Bastille fort as symbol of despotism, symbol of royal despotism or despotism of the Bourbon dynasty or Bourbon monarchs. So, this is how the Bastille fort was demolished, and the stone fragments were sold in the market as a souvenir. This is how the incident happened. The question may come, when and why the people of France attacked the Bastille, what was its result? Now, our next topic is what was the condition of France at that time? Social condition, economic and political condition. Social, in the late 18th century, the France was divided into 3 estates. First estates consisted of clergy, second estates consisted of nobility, third estates consisted of the common people or middle class people. They are namely doctors, lawyers, merchants, and even common people like the peasants, artisans, urban workers, etc. Now, the bulk of the population, almost 60%, consisted of the peasants. We must know that what was the privileges. The first estate and second estate are privileged class, and third estate non-privileged class. All the privileges, economic, social, political, were enjoyed by the first two estates, that is clergy and nobility. A non-privileged class, that is the middle class people, common people, peasants, they did not enjoy any sorts of privileges which are enjoyed by the upper two classes. We see that the economic condition of France. In 1774, Louis XVI ascended the throne. Upon his accession, he found an empty treasury. Continuous warfare and long-run warfares made the treasury empty. And we see that it was very difficult at the time for the Bourbon rulers to maintain the Versailles Palace, which was very extremely costly or extravagance of the aristocracy, extravagance, luxury living of the aristocracy. It was very difficult to maintain the Versailles Palace. We see that moreover, it is under the direction of Louis XVI, France helped 13 colonies of America to fight against Britain for independence. Now, we see that as a result, a huge amount of debt was incurred by France. It is a billion livres, which rose up to 2 billion livres. The lenders had to impose 10% interest on the total money, and the French government was busy in paying the money, and actually they are paying their entire money, almost entire money, as an interest. So, it was very difficult for the French rulers to run the administration, to maintain the army and other institutions. So, moreover, we see that in the 18th century, French society was already mentioned divided into 3 estates. The first 2 estates did not pay any taxes. All the entire burden of taxes was borne by the third estate. And there was a proverb which was prevalent at that time. The nobility fights, clergy prays, people pay. So, what the people paid? Third estates people paid different types of taxes. Direct taxes, indirect taxes. What are the direct taxes? Daily income, tax on total income, being TMA, tax on production, or tax on land, capitation, tax on production, and moreover indirect taxes like gabella, salt tax, tithes 1/10 of the total income to the church, corvée, forced labor. Corvée was a forced labor which was actually provided by the peasants in the form of building houses, bridges, roads, etc. So, these are the condition of the time. Now, political condition of France. Politically in the 18th century, France was a centralized despotism. Who are the despotic rulers? The Bourbon dynasties, the Louis XV, Louis XVI, they actually believed in divine right kingship. I have already discussed in class 7 particularly, the Sultan Sultans and the Mughals, or the rulers of Sultanate period and the Mughal period, believed this theory that they are the representative of God on earth, that is divine right kingship. So similarly, they believed it and accordingly they ruled. And those people who were suspected against the you see that the king or kingdom, they were imprisoned in the Bastille Fort. You see that we know that they used a royal writ or royal document in the form of lettres, lettre de cachet, a warrant, arrest warrant, LETTERS small d CSCHET, lettre de cachet warrant. By this the people could be easily arrested without any, they were imprisoned in the Bastille Fort without any trial. Louis XV issued such type of royal writ, 1,50,000, while during the reign of Louis XVI, 14,000 such letters were issued. You can imagine how many people were arrested at that time and how they carried on that oppression of the people. So this is thus an eminent historian, George Lefevre, Lefevre, George Lefevre described France as political prison. Now, perhaps you have understood the social, economic and political condition. Now, subsistence crisis. What was the subsistence crisis? And during the old regime, the people, the basic livelihoods of the people are endangered, and these crises are known as subsistence crisis. Why did it happen, or what were the reasons behind it? We see that in 1715 the population of France increased from 23 millions to 28 millions in 1789. Moreover, as a result of it, there is a scarcity of food grains. There is an increase of wages. I should have told or discussed that the wages of the workers were not increased, because although the prices of the essential commodities increased, the wages of the workers were not increased. There is a great deal of differentiation between the rich and the poor, and the prices of breads were rising so much that people could not purchase it, common people. So these are the condition of France at that time. And now I like to discuss who were the privileged class and non-privileged class. Already I have mentioned or discussed earlier, the first two estates, clergy and nobility, were the privileged class. Why are they called privileged? Because they enjoyed all sorts of economic, political and social rights by birth, while the third estates people, that is peasants or common people or middle class people, did not have such privileges. The third estates people had to pay all sorts of taxes, while the first two estates were exempted from paying taxes. That's why they are called privileged class. Non-privileged class, third estates people. It is they had to pay direct taxes, they had to pay taxes to the state, to the king, to the feudal lords, and also the church. I'm telling again, the common people or the peasants had to pay taxes to the feudal lords, to the church in the form of tithes, and to the state in different types of taxes. This is, I see that, for example, I mentioned that indirect taxes, gabella, tithes and corvée. Corvée already forced labor. They are to do a bonded labor, forced labor in the form of repairing the bridge, building the houses or forts, etc. Now, various types of taxes already I have discussed. A question may come on it, that what type of taxes are collected from the third estates people. Already I have discussed. So, I think that I should not repeat it. Now, emergence of middle class. A new middle class in the 18th century or late 18th century emerged. They earned their fame from trade and commerce. We know that they are merchants, businessmen and lawyers, doctors, etc. They are known as bourgeois class or bourgeois or bourgeoisie, meaning middle class. So, these classes of people led the revolution. They have played an important role in the French Revolution, these middle class people. Now, I should discuss or I must discuss the role of philosophers in the French Revolution. We know that we have heard the name of John Locke, a British philosopher. He wrote a book called Two Treatises of Government. Two Treatises of Government. In this book, he refuted the divine right kingship, meaning he criticized and also absolute right of the monarch. Similarly, I may mention the name of Montesquieu. Montesquieu was a French philosopher. He also criticized in his books, The Spirit of Letters, we see that the division of power. What is the division of power? That all the powers were centralized or controlled by the Bourbon dynasty. But he actually suggested that there must be a division, legislative, executive and judiciary. There must be a division in this administrative, in the government in the form of this legislative division, legislative or executive and judiciary. These are the division he suggested. Moreover, he criticized severely the clergyman. Montesquieu, in his Spirit of Letters, severely criticized the clergyman. And moreover, another philosopher I may mention, that is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau wrote a book, The Social Contract or Discourse. In his book, Social Contract, he severely criticized the absolute rule of the monarchical power or the despotic rule of the monarchs. He suggested that monarchs should rule according to the will of the people. So, however, this is how we see that Voltaire similarly mentioned, another French philosopher who also severely criticized the nobility or the feudal lords. Same in this way, the Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu and also John Locke prepared the ground for the French Revolution. And I may also discuss, you see that the name of some other philosophers, namely Quesnay, a group of physiocrats, economists. Their leader was Quesnay, Queusney. They also suggested free trade. Similarly, Denis Diderot. He was also a philosopher and he suggested, we see that he also wrote a book called Encyclopedia. In this way, although the names Quesnay and Denis Diderot are not mentioned in your textbooks, but you see that already I mentioned the name of the Rousseau, Voltaire and Montesquieu. and you see that they prepared the ground for the French Revolution, and their writings were discussed in the salons and coffee house. Thus, it prepared the ground for the coming French Revolution. You see that the French Revolution which occurred in the year 1789. Thank you all.